What is the best and easiest way to spool either monofilament or braided fishing line onto a spinning reel? Hi everybody, I'm Barry Stokes with Let's Fish, here to answer that age-old question. So you went out, bought your brand new spinning rod and reel, you're ready to spool it with line for the very first time, and the question hits you, how do I do this and what's the best way? It all begins with either monofilament, fluorocarbon, or braided line, the three lines that I like to use on my spinning reels. Now, the first thing you want to do is tie a loop knot in the end of your line. It's the same kind of a knot we used to tie on yo-yo strings when I was a kid. You want to clip off the excess. You want to grab the main line, stick it through the loop, pull it through, and set up a sliding loop knot that slides up and down your main line. Then you want to open the bail of your spinning reel. You want to slide that sliding loop over the top of the spool, pull it tight so that it pulls tight clockwise. That way, when you rotate the bail around, it'll catch that line and pull that knot tight on your spool. Now, ideally, you want to have a spool that's either got something like this little grid, this little friction pad here that grips the line, especially if you're using braided line. If you're not using a spool that has something that will grab that line, you'll need to put some backing on it, some monofilament, some fluorocarbon backing before the braid. Now this is fluorocarbon line. The next thing you want to do is grab the main line with your thumb and forefinger, grab the rod and hold on to it like this. Next thing is just start winding it on. Now here is the biggest key of all. As it winds off that spool, one direction is going to wind without twisting, but the other is going to twist. So you can see that I've now wound a few spools or a few rounds around that spool and it's not twisting. See, the line here is pretty smooth and it's not twisted. I'll demonstrate. I'll turn it over the other way and watch what happens. I'm going to spool a few spools. I'm going to turn it over and show you that immediately that line twisted up. You can see the twist right by my thumb. And the more you do it, the more it's going to twist. So with the spool laying this way, with the empty label side down and the empty side up, it's twisting like crazy. See that twist right here. If I turn it the other way, label side up, start spooling it, you'll notice then when I take the pressure off right here, it does not twist. Now, it's not always going to be the same on every brand and every size of fishing line, but one side will always twist more than the other. So experiment with it the first time you start winding it on. Use the side up that twists the least, and then continue to spool that line onto your reel. The next question you always want to ask is how much line to put on the spinning reel. To answer that question, I've got another complete video to give you some tips on how full to fill your spool for the longest cast, the least amount of friction, and the least amount of line twists. Follow these simple instructions for thousands of carefree, problem-free, and tangle-free casts the next time you go fishing with your spinning rod and reel. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more fishing tips, how-to videos, big fish catches, and full episodes of our Let's Fish TV show, be sure to subscribe right here to our YouTube channel. You can also like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Good fishing out there.